Here we go again. Just last year, I had to point out how Clete Blakeman and his crew clearly and irrefutably helped the Patriots beat the Jaguars. 1 year later, and Blakeman is back at it, this time taking down the Chiefs with his best friend, Tom Brady. The evidence is overwhelming, as I'm sure you would expect from me. I'm not someone to jump on a trend and sarcastically point out the limits of the claims. No, I take this seriously. But before we move on, if you want more world-class investigative journalism and are capable of understanding jokes, feel free to subscribe. We've got a goal of 50,000 subscribers and you could help. Let's start where we always should, the irrefutable evidence. The one play that clearly helps the Patriots to win the game. That one call that you just can't justify with any existing NFL rule and that gave the Patriots a second chance. Did you know that in this game there were 10 penalties totaling 89 yards altogether, and a massive 4 of those were against the Chiefs for a total of 28 yards? You know what that means? Obviously the referees helped the Patriots. It does. It's in the title of the video. Did you also know that only one team was given multiple first downs by penalties on a potentially game-winning drive in this game? And I'll let you guess which team that was. Okay, it was the Chiefs, but I bet you guessed the Patriots, and isn't that evidence in itself? But let's get down into it. The Patriots on their final drive of regular time got a roughing the passer call on this penalty. Oh, it wasn't their final drive. But the fact stands, it's not roughing the passer. And how could a referee ever think it is? The hand clearly strikes the face mask and moves the helmet. How could that look like contact to the head? I mean, just look at this non-call on Mahomes, where Flowers struck his shoulder pad and missed the helmet. How are these two non-identical plays not called the same way? Now, what the worst thing here is that it gave the Patriots a new set of downs when the Chiefs had stopped them on 3rd and 7. Oh, it was 2nd and 7. But still, it would have brought up 3rd and 7. There's no way that the Patriots could have converted a 3rd and long with the game on the line. They were 13 for 19 on 3rd down in the game as a whole. That means they didn't convert 6 of them, and that could have been one of them. I mean, just look at the other 3 penalties against the Chiefs. Illegal block in the back. Since when is blocking someone with your back in their back an illegal block in the back? And here, false start. I've seen the Chargers get away with worse on 2 occasions this season. And this one that overturned an interception, since when is standing with half your body over the ball lining up in the neutral zone? Next thing you know, opposing linebackers can't line up next to the running back anymore. Now, the last time I made a video like this, not everybody was convinced. For some reason, people thought my evidence of the referees cheating wasn't much evidence at all, more just stuff that I'd made up. Well, this time I've come prepared. I'm sure people will be quick to point out these non-calls on the Chiefs who committed no offensive or defensive pass interference penalties all game long, and that's because those weren't penalties. Defenders have always been allowed to jump on receivers for a piggyback as long as they ask first, and Eric Berry obviously asked Gronkowski for a ride. And this pick play, it's called a rub play. They are legal in football, and you'd know that if you learnt the rules. At the line of scrimmage, 5 yards downfield, anywhere you want. There really are no rules here. Isn't that right, Philip Dorsett? At the end of the day, the evidence is overwhelming. Just look at this footage of Clete Blakeman making contact with Tom Brady at the start of the game, just like he did at the end of the game against the Jaguars. This guy clearly didn't realize this event would be televised and gave himself away. He also overturned this muffed punt by Edelman, despite it looking like he touched it in multiple angles. Okay, other angles also clearly showed that no part of his body touched the ball, but no one angle showed it all, so the referees cheated. How can I justify it? I just can. They did. They cheated. The Patriots are the worst ever, not the best dynasty in sports history.